I grew up in a home with a dog, a big yellow lab who I could sink into. A puppy who once pecked my arms and who snarled at every strange man who pulled my 2-year-old cheeks. A young dog who stood tall and proud, who looked lean and strong. A dog who gulped down whole milk and who chewed on the telephone wire every time we left the house. A dog who let me run after him. A dog who put up with a hyperactive 4-year-old, her friends, and their many eager hands. I grew up in a home with a dog whose paws smelled of basmati rice. I remember that night, age 6, when I fought for the comfort of my parents' bed and lost. I remember finding him at the foot of my bed, a large blob of overweight fur with his arms outstretched. I remember falling asleep to the smell of basmati rice, and now I know home is where those paws were. I grew up in a home with parents that fought a lot. I remember standing silently watching birds engage in incessant battle, a battle I never understood. I watched them as they filled the room with an energy I did not want to be enveloped by. I watched as two people who loved each other refused to be in the same room. I thought I'd grow up and find the answers. I buried my thoughts and questions in a box in my stomach and learned to forget. I learned to look into those dreamy eyes that belonged to those yellow paws and confide in them. Somehow, they understood. I grew up in a house I could not fight in. I found myself angry with words dying to leave my mouth, but a family that refused to hear them. I made up speeches in my mind, heck, I memorized every line, but they too found my way into their box. A parent must be respected, not refuted, obeyed, not opposed. I grew up with these lines imprinted in my mind. And every time I longed to scream, instead on my face tears would stream, and my pillow I would find damp from the lump in my throat. I grew up in a house I do not understand. It's been 6 years since I looked into those eyes, and around me are nothing but misunderstandings and lies. And I ask myself if it'll ever make sense. We're all on different pages, speaking different languages, with no common goal in sight. I want X, she wants Y, she sees blood where I see a butterfly. How could it work? I can feel my secrets unraveling, my stomach full and trembling. I can feel my limbs tired from the anguish. I live in a house I'm forced to call home. I spend each day staring into the eyes of those around me, hoping to find those darn answers, but their eyes are cold and confused, just as lost as mine are, and I realize no one wants to be here. I want a home I belong to, but that seems so far away. I want to smile at my parents and laugh at their jokes and remember that all in all, they're pretty decent folks. So I'll always swallow and laugh at the world, and I'll be happy as long as I never utter a word. Yet someday, that box will refuse to close. At full capacity on the world I will impose. And that day, I'll search for those familiar paws, the only place I belong with all my flaws.